Today we're going to see which one's better. OnlyOffice versus Libreoffice. Let's get started. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and today we're comparing two different office suites that are free. Trying to see which one is better than the other one, or just seeing what they are and how they compare. And we have OnlyOffice and Libreoffice. And we're gonna go through 5 different things and see which one performs better in each category. The first category is design. OnlyOffice has a very simple layout and it has a very similar design to the Microsoft Office product, especially the Office 365 product. It's very, if you look at both of them side by side, you can see that it's a very similar product. It seems like OnlyOffice changed just enough so it wouldn't be considered like any type of infringement. I mean, it's very similar. So if you're going from the king of office suites or Microsoft to one of these free versions, and you don't want to get in there and learn something new and have something that's familiar, then OnlyOffice looks so much like it. It's very clean, very simple, very easy to use. LibreOffice, if you look at LibreOffice is very cluttered. It has a lot of options. It's not a familiar thing if you're coming from a Microsoft Office product. It's just very plain. It's nothing. The layout is not as user-friendly as OnlyOffice, and it's just not something that you can easily pick up just by the way it looks. The UI is what it is. So on design, point goes to OnlyOffice. 2, app choice. And when I say apps, I mean the different types of programs that you can use inside of this suite. OnlyOffice has a word processor, a presentations, PowerPoint, a spreadsheet, or an Excel function. And you have those 3 for free, and they work just like they're intended to. I mean, you have those 3, and if those 3 things you need, it has it. Libreoffice, on the other hand, has those 3 things plus a database program like Access. If you're in the database, that's a free database program. You have a math program, which if you don't know what math is, I've never really used it, but math, have you ever been writing a paper or something and you need a certain type of equation? If you go to word processing, it's kind of hard to put equations into Word or a document writer. So what math does, from the best of my knowledge, you can take these mathematical functions and you can process them into different programs inside the LibreOffice suite. And also, I think you could do some calculations on it. It's something that helps mathematicians and scientists and people who are interested in math. I'm not one of those people, but you know. And the other one I use a whole lot is Draw. The way I use Draw is, since I'm an IT professional, I use Draw to do a lot of layouts and designs. Like if I'm trying to design a network, or if I'm trying to put up different pieces of equipment and I need to a layout, or I need to plan, I use Draw to do that. Also, I've used Draw to do organizational charts. I've seen people use them for like little rudimentary blueprints. I don't know. They have programs for blueprints. I wouldn't necessarily rely on this. But if you're trying to do a design, or you're trying to lay out how furniture will look around your house, get those dimensions in, it's a very good program for that. So for app choice, I'm going to have to give it to LibreOffice. 3, features. As far as features on OnlyOffice, they have all the typical features you would find in those 3 choices as far as word processing, spreadsheets, presentation. There's nothing super great about the options inside of it. One good option is the collaboration feature. You do get 6 months of collaboration for free, where you can go in and make changes to your documents and things like that, or anybody else in your team or whatever project you're working on, go in and make changes and you can collaborate like that. But it's only free for 6 months. That doesn't mean you can't conveniently, after the 6 months, or get another email address and do it over again. But anything past 6 months, you run into a price thing. They also have a feature where you can get a server where you can host up to, I think the cheapest plan is 50 installations of Onlyoffice. Libreoffice has more features inside the actual programs that it makes things easier once you get used to the layout. Different. If you look at the ribbon is more busier than Onlyoffice, but it has more uses. What is that? Is that another fly? Like, do I have like a hole that flies go through? What is this? Oh man, I hope you enjoy yourself. But it has more features and functions than Onlyoffice as far as choice and how you attack or how you... That's not a fly. What is that? LibreOffice does have a collaboration feature. It is free, but to set up collaboration for LibreOffice, it's very, very complicated. You gotta have your own server, which that's nothing complicated about that. You gotta have file sharing permissions and all these different other special types of permissions. And then you gotta worry about load balancing and administration and security and things like that. So as far as collaboration, I definitely wouldn't pick LibreOffice. I would definitely do Onlyoffice if collaboration is your thing. But if having a bunch of features and a bunch of functions is important to you, I gotta give the edge to LibreOffice. The next one, it's gonna be cost. Onlyoffice for the desktop editor is free. If the only thing you need is a word processor, something for presentations and spreadsheets, Onlyoffice is your choice. If you want to get into more of their features as far as like mail and different other things they offer, that does have a price to it. The basic function, free. LibreOffice also, it's open source, it's community develop. If you don't know about open source, I have a video about why open source is important. Click on that if you want to learn more about open source. I can't give anybody the edge, so they both get a point. And the last one is support. Onlyoffice has a forum. And if you go to it, it's a forum where people ask a ton of questions. It doesn't seem like a lot of them get answered though. So the forum is there, and I don't know if it's just the community isn't big enough yet, but it just doesn't seem like it's a robust forum. I do believe they do have support for the paid version, but again, I don't know. I didn't pay for it. So if you're going into this being free, your best bet is going to be YouTube. And there's a couple of YouTube videos. If you like TechGumbo, he has a video on Onlyoffice. I'll link that below. Onlyoffice is simple enough where if you're familiar with Microsoft Word or Office 365, then the transition should be not as drastic. On the other hand, LibreOffice has, since it's open source, it has a whole bunch of people who have dedicated years to not only developing it, contributing in other ways as far as feedback and donations and things like that. Here's one thing I want to say. Open source software is usually free, but they always have a donate link. And if you've been using an open source software and it's been providing value to your personal or business life, please consider donating something to any open source. I don't care what it is. Any open source project that you believe in and that's useful to you, because these donations go back and help out the development and, servers and website for the open source software. So if you got any value, I don't care if it's $1, donate $1 to them, because those guys are out there working hard to give you something, a robust system for free. So I'm off my soapbox. The community forums for LibreOffice and the myriad of websites and blogs and YouTube videos for LibreOffice, the support is there. It's just like anything else that's open source. You just have to go out there and find it. I mean, maybe you can pay somebody to be support on that, but it's all there. It's just getting out there and looking. So the point is going to have to go to LibreOffice. So with a score of 4-2, LibreOffice wins. And I'll tell you why. It doesn't look great. I know it doesn't look great, but for what it lacks in appearance, it makes up for in function and usability. You could literally run a whole business on LibreOffice. It'll be a little more difficult, it's a little more time spent, but you can run a whole business. As far as you got your spreadsheets for all your financial and accounting, you have your word processor for different reports, and then you have your PowerPoint thing for presentations. Then you get me. And then you can have a customer database with the database program in LibreOffice. It's so fully functioned and fully featured that it would be hard pressed to recommend LibreOffice over OnlyOffice. Even though I think OnlyOffice has the potential to become something better, but right now it seems like they wanted to get you in on the ground level for free and then try to upsell you. And LibreOffice isn't about the upsell. Guys, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Me and my fly friend over here. Thank you for joining us. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why you didn't like the video. I'm okay. I can accept criticism. Thumbs down, that's fine. That just gives me motivation to try better next time. So, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.